Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Navs Effect podcast. I'm your host, Naveen Ganglani, and for the second straight episode, I am going to have on Nico Rocha, a friend of the podcast, a friend of the show. And the last time we recorded an episode, we discussed the first Battle of Katipunan game in
Yeah.
UAAP Season 86, Ateneo versus UP. Well, 1 week later, they faced again, and we are going to talk about that game as well, along with some other developments in the UAP men's basketball season, and just a lot of fun catching up and everything. Pretty eventful weekend. So we're going to get to that. But before we start the episode, I first want to bring to you a word from one of our sponsors, Green Blooded.
Attention all Animo faithful. UAAP Season 86 has arrived and it's time for the DLSU Green Archers to reclaim their spot at the pinnacle of UAAP basketball. The battlefield is set and the roar of the crowd awaits. Are you ready to keep the Animo spirit alive? There's no better way to show your unwavering support for the Green Archers than by sporting the finest LaSalle apparel, and that's where Green Blooded comes in. They are your go-to destination for all things green and white, designed with passion and precision to help you stand out in the sea of fans. Ready to gear up for success? Simply visit Green Blooded online to explore their latest collection. Whether you're a student, an alum, or simply a devoted fan, they have something special for everyone. Get ready to cheer the Green Archers back to glory. Let your passion shine through your apparel and fuel the Animo spirit with Green Blooded.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. So let's jump right to it. Ateneo UP, last week, Ateneo beats UP in overtime 99-90. Today, UP wins 65-60. Definitely a more defensive-oriented game. If last week's contest, we're recording this Sunday pa, 11:57, October 29, soon to be October 30. Happy Halloween to everyone who celebrates. So,
Isn't Halloween 31 or 30?
I was having that conversation like just a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
When is Halloween? I think there's a sure answer for this, and someone's probably gonna let us know about it. But anyway, so if last week's game, Nico, was more of a talent and skill showcase with so many players stepping up, shots going in, pacing fast, electric. This one was a little bit more of a defensive slugfest, at least in the first half. Then in the fourth quarter, it gets exciting. Of course, Ateneo starts catching fire, makes it a close game at the end. So it's back and forth. It's a shot from one side, a shot from another side. Eventually, UP pulls it off. This one resembled more of what a Final Four or finals matchup would be like, physical. It was also fitting. It was in Araneta Coliseum
Iba vibe,
because,
no?
yeah,
It's a different vibe.
iba yung vibe, and you can feel it in the game. The MOA games are so different from the Araneta games, and it's something that's been apparent for years, but I felt it really a lot more now because this is only our second Araneta game day of the season. And then this was UP Ateneo pa. So compared to MOA, it's different. But anyway, defensive oriented, guys missing from UP, they pull it out. No Kagulangan. He has a hamstring injury that after the game UP said is not serious. Then no Cancino, he was sick. That's why he didn't play today. He got sick last night. But the other guys stepped up. Made me think about how after Ateneo's last game against UP, Coach Tab said the UP guards are the best set of guards he's ever seen since he got to the UAAP. So today that was, almost like the personification of that because no Cancino, no Kagulangan, but you have Abadiano step up. And then you also have other cons step up in the final quarter. You have Felicilda playing the role of point guard. So you saw guys step up, take up major responsibilities, flourish in those responsibilities. Of course, it's easy when you got someone like Malik Diouf helping you out too. But Abadiano was great. Ever since he came back from injury this season, he has been on a tear. His jump shot looks consistent. His ability to drive looks good. He looks healthy. Defensively, he can still create turnovers. And then also, I thought Francis Lopez had a few good moments. He had that big shot late in the fourth quarter. Ateneo, they didn't get a lot of contributions like they did last week. Remember, we were discussing last Sunday how it felt like everyone almost stepped up for the Blue Eagles. This time around, they didn't really have that kind of like spread the wealth when it came to offensive responsibilities. But Jared Brown really did his best to get the team back in the game, and he almost pulled off that late rally. Interestingly enough, he makes a decision past Obasa rather than go for the three, go for the tie. But just a fun game, not the prettiest game, Nico, not the most. I wouldn't say it's one of those games where a few years from now you're like, okay, I want to watch a UAAP classic. What should I watch? It's not. It probably won't come in the list right away. But if you like defensive basketball, if you like a slugfest, like a bar fight almost, and just like a straight up battle, that was the game. That was one of those games.
Yeah, those were one of the games that for me is the one that will make me remember UAP season 86, the slugfest between arguably one of the I want to say top two kasi disrespect to NU. They're currently number 2 right now. But it's a battle between the defending champions and a team that's right there who knows that they deserve the crown as well. So that's why it's amazing. You see the defense and everything. Gerry Abadiano is pure with those mid-range jumpers. I was speaking to who was I speaking to a while ago? I was speaking to a friend a while ago, and I said that Gerry Abadiano has that Shawnee Winston in him with regards to the way he stops and pops at the mid-range, the elbow. And I was like, man, the last time somebody killed us like this was Shawnee pa. And Ateneo lost to Salle last year in the first round.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, and I felt like that was Jerry's game na tuloy-tuloy na. And I feel like pwede na siya magpa-draft after this year. After seeing, I feel like he's ready na for the PBA.
I really like the college Mark Baroka comparisons for
Mark,
Abadiano.
sorry, I don't
You
remember.
Mark
Gano'n ba si
Baroka.
Mark Baroka? Does he play midi ba si Mark? I think Mark is, di ba parang, it's more of a slasher type of player. I don't remember.
He had the midi once in a while, but I meant in terms of just physicality and
Oh,
defensive capabilities also from that position. The speed, the power. Like Barroco wasn't as big as Abadiano is, but then he was also like really strong whenever he drive into the rim back a day. But yeah, Abadiano solid. 22 points, efficient 7 of 15 from the field,
Yeah.
including 3 of 8 from the 3-point area. 5 of 7 from the foul line. UP shot 83% as a team. Only 12 free throw attempts, with 83% for a college team. You'll take it, right? He also had 3 rebounds. He had 2 assists, and he was a +9, the highest for the whole UP squad. Now, I'm gonna share you a story, Nico,
Go
about
ahead.
a few years ago. So this was, I think, 2020, if I'm not mistaken. I'll confirm that. But a few years ago, I went to somewhere in Quezon City to I think it was Celebrity Sports. Have you ever been there?
Yeah, I play basketball sa Celeb.
Yes, sir. Okay. So at that point, UP had recruited this one and done prospect by the name of Sam Dowd. Okay. And blessings to him. Incredible life story. One of my favorite features I ever wrote. And if you guys ever have time and you want like a really fun human story to read, that's something that I want you all to check out. The name of the article is The Extraordinary Life of Sam Dowd. But anyway, so back to the point.
Calling all Ateneo fans. UAAP Season 86 is upon us, and the roar of the crowd is about to fill the air as the Blue Eagles gear up to defend their throne. Are you ready to be the sixth man and fuel their journey to victory to keep the crown in Loyola Heights? We know you bleed blue, and now it's the time to show it with pride. Get Blued is here to help you do just that. The brand new collection of Ateneo gear is hotter than ever, and it's the perfect way to display your unwavering support for Team Ateneo. Let your wardrobe do the talking this UAAP season. Wear your pride, stand with the Blue Eagles, and be part of the winning tradition. Don't miss out on the excitement. Join the Ateneo community in cheering for victory. Get ready to soar with the Blue Eagles and get blue.
I go to Celebrity Sports. I talked to a friend of mine from UP to help set up an interview with Sam Dowd because I heard about his story, where he came from, and I wanted to do a feature on that. So, and my friend from UP admitted this to me like a few years later. While I was there doing the interview with Sam Dowd in one of the courts, there was a pickup game happening in another court. Okay.
Yeah.
And at that point, they wanted to keep it hush-hush, quiet.
The pickup
Okay.
game?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
okay, kala ko yung interview mo.
No, the pickup game.
Oh.
So, I had no idea there was a pickup game going on, and I was in the same venue. A few years later, this friend of mine from UP says, actually, we made an order to make sure that you would not find out this pickup game is going on.
Tapos nandun ka.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, how come? The reason why is because, okay, this is 2020, March or Feb 2020. So right, before
Before the
the
lockdown. A
pandemics, yeah,
month
before the
before the
lockdown.
lockdown.
By the way, the reason why Sam Dowd hindi din natuloy sa UP was because of the lockdown. COVID also prevented
Sam.
that. Sam
What's his
Dowd,
last doubt? Sam? What's the how do you spell the last name?
DOWD.
Oh, him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, oh
Remember,
yeah, yeah,
he was
yeah.
going to play for UP. So anyway, this pickup game, Nico, that I was not, privy to, was a pickup game between the UP Fighting Maroons of that time. So this was following season 82, 2019, the year after they make the finals. They were taking on the NU Bullpups in a pickup game. The
Bullpups.
Bullpups with Coach Goldwyn Monteverde, Carl
Oh, shit.
Tamayo, Harold
Okay.
Alarcon, Gerry Abadiano, all the NU boys, including Gerry Abadiano, right? Kevin Kiambao also. So, and look, I'm not sure if Kobe Paras and the GDLs were playing because I wasn't there, right? I only heard about it later on. But I know that Bright Acoeti was playing, and I know that Richie Rivera was playing in that
Okay,
game.
so they were there.
Not only did the NU high school team beat UP's college team, the NU high school team, which was a dynasty, sort of, in high school basketball, blew them out.
Wow.
Blew them out.
Do you know the
Okay?
score? Did you get
No,
the
I don't
score?
know the score. I don't know the score. I just know they blew them out. And I know another thing. Gerry Abadiano in that game had more than 30 points.
Wow.
High school Gerry Abadiano against a college UP team scored more than 30 points. And it was after that game that helped convince some of the UP folks, we need to recruit these NU boys. Okay, we need to recruit. So Gerry, his explosion was one of the tipping points that made that happen. Now, after UP said we need to try and recruit these boys, they weren't sure. For them at that point, it was like, okay, this is a shot in the dark because these boys are most likely going to NU, right? At that time, Coach Gold was with NU. And then word started getting out that they were leaving the NU program.
Okay.
And the one that really opened the faucet, so to say, was when they got word that Kevin Kiambao was moving to LaSalle.
Okay.
Was committing to LaSalle. Okay. So, at first, diba, it's like, these, sure pupuntang NU mga to. Then I was, wait, si KQ pupuntang DLSU. Now, take note, the KQ news of him committing to DLSU came out the same day. It came out that Tamayo and Abadiano were committing to UP.
Okay.
But the KQ thing happened first. So, when UP got word of that Kiambao was heading to LaSalle, they're like, oh, wait, available yung mga NU boys. So, they start recruiting. I know that the first two UP guys that they successfully recruited were Tamayo and Abadiano. Okay. So, point of the story. What the role Gerry is playing now for this team was something UP envisioned before pa talaga. Before pa. They saw Gerry as a super scorer in high school, but they needed him to play some point in his first two seasons
Okay,
in college.
pinapapoint siya nung previous years. Ngayon, two guard.
He's
natural ano niya.
Exactly. He was a scorer talaga before pa. But I'm not sure. I guess because of the players they had in the team, like there's Rivero season 84, Lucero, Tamayo, of course some of the other guys, they had deep rosters. So they needed him to be more of a defensive stopper, occasional scorer, and a playmaker. But now you're really seeing, okay, Gerry's playing his game. Now, also after the game, he said that he changed his shooting form a little bit this past off season. I'm gonna have a feature on that hopefully soon.
Yeah.
So he was talking about how he worked with Pat of Better Basketball to change his shooting form, yung release, where to spot the ball, shooting pocket. And then he practiced that new form, religiously during the off season. And you're seeing it now because one thing about Gerry last two seasons is we always knew he had the ability to get his shot up, right? And that's something that not a lot of players have. Yung mga players, okay, there's 4 seconds left in the shot clock. Can you make a pull up, make a move to get a decent look at the pull up? Jared Brown also kind of has this, by the way. Jared Brown of Ateneo. So Gerry always had the moves to get his shot up. The problem was the consistency of the shooting touch. So now he changed the shooting form a little bit, minor tweak, and you're seeing the consistency of the shot going in. So the last few games, he hits that game winner against DLSU, diba? The first round. He plays, decent against Ateneo. Could have played better. Get to watch a UP Adamson game, but I figured he played good. Now today, in a finals rematch, a week after they just lost to the rivals, he was in a lot of ways the top of the arrow for the Fighting Maroons.
He's the game changer. He
was,
changed it.
He was. He was the most consistent player from start to finish, along with Malik. And you're seeing Gerry starting to flourish. Hard work is,
Scary.
paying off.
So scary.
When it comes to cleaning a home or office, most people just know the basics. Mopping the floor, wiping off dust and dirt is pretty standard. While all that can make a place look clean, it doesn't mean it is clean. Making a place truly clean and virus-free requires a professional help. That's where the cleaning coach comes in. The cleaning coach provides outstanding general cleaning, commercial cleaning, post-construction cleanup, upholstery cleaning, floor, carpet cleaning, aircon cleaning, and disinfection at a very reasonable price. The cleaning coach and his team will do all the scrubbing, dusting, polishing, disinfecting, and sanitizing, so you won't have to. Making your place look clean that you can also smell and feel. You will experience the difference. Now that's stress-free cleaning to a better normal, done professionally by the cleaning coach. Contact the cleaning coach today to learn more.
Now, obviously, when you have Kagulangan Cancino come back, there's going to be the question of how you distribute the minutes. But this is a good sign if you're a UP fan.
Yeah, definitely. And they did this without CJ Cancino and JD Kagulangan. I thought na Ateneo will be able to maybe squeak by without JD and CJ, but then Gerry happened. When you said his field goals a while ago, his field goal attempt 7 of 15. For me, as a person who was watching there, I felt like he only missed 2 shots because it was the way his game. Yung ramdam na ramdam mo na he was there on the court. Nakakatakot whenever he has the ball. Sabi ko, oh shit, here we go again. This is gonna be a pull-up mid-range. Nobody's gonna stop it. And most of the time, ganun nga nangyayari.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people can throw off Sean Kitevis, arguably the best defender at Ateneo. Tapos, you play like that? Sabi ko, wow.
Yeah.
What a game for Gerry.
Speaking of Sean, quick thought lang. He shot 3 of 9 from the field, but I thought there were some defensive plays he made that
changed the tide in the fourth.
Yeah,
he was there. He was right there.
What's cool about Sean too is when he gets the ball in transition, he's strong enough, like that end one against Felicilda. He's strong enough that he can bump bodies and finish. UP left him open the whole game. UP basically told Sean Kitevis, here's all the space in the world. Take as many 3-pointers as you want. Right?
They gave him
the way they were playing it was like that. Now, Sean should take those shots. He shot 1 of 6 today. There's some days if he shoots 6 3-pointers, he'll make 3. There's some days like today he'll make 1. Some he might make 4. But just a quick thought on that. I think that's the key for Sean to have a pro career if he wants a pro career.
A consistent 3.
Because he can play defense. He can score someone the break. If he can add a 3-point shot, maybe make sure, tighten up the shooting form, get the 3-point shot in more consistently. That could be good for him long term. Now, back to UP. Francis Lopez, I thought much better today compared to the last time they played Ateneo.
He was clutch as well.
Yeah, finished with 10 points, 5 of 8 shooting from the field, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. He was a -2, interestingly, in 26 minutes, but I don't think that's indicative of how he played. He had a big time, like running
over
hook
the
shot.
outstretched arms of Obasa. Sabi ko, this guy's ready for the moment.
Yes. Now, there were some moments also that he forced it. He forced some attacks, and it led to turnovers. He had 3 turnovers today. So that's something you'll have to clean up, obviously. But then I thought a key point that was also happening in the second quarter, because in the first half, dikit siya, diba? Both teams dikit. And then there was a point in the second quarter where Francis basically got the ball perimeter, dribble drive, attack like 3 times, and it must have led to like 6 or 7 UP points.
Yeah.
I thought that was big. Thought Harold played 4 of 12, of course, not really the most efficient game, but he had big shots in the fourth quarter. Had that big 3-pointer that bounced up and back in when Ateneo had just tied the game, and he had that midi pull-up late in the contest as well. Terence Fortea came back today, finished with 7 points in 10 minutes, 2 of 5 shooting. What's encouraging if you're a UP fan when it comes to Fortea is that the jump shot, maybe, of course, it will take some time to get that in consistently. But the way he was running up and down the court, diba? I asked someone from UP before the season, if Terrence is gonna miss like a long chunk of the elimination round and sobrang deep ng team niyo with talent, would it make sense to not let Terrence be lined up this season so that way you conserve his playing years and then you bring him back pag healthy na siya? And take note, I said this because I thought UP was so deep in talent that they could make up for him if he wasn't around for a year. And then someone who I was speaking to told me, no, iba if you have a Terrence Fortea. And you felt
He
it
showed
in the
up
court
kanina.
today to some
He
degree.
showed up.
Not to say that he was the reason why they won the game, but when he's in there with his former NU high school teammates and he's spreading the floor and he can hit a big shot out of nowhere, that's a key area for UP to watch out for moving forward. I think there's going to be a game or two where Terrence hits a big 3-pointer in the fourth quarter and you're going to realize why he was so important to the team. And I thought Felicilda played good, considering he needed to, maybe not in terms of like piling up stats, but in terms of setting up the table,
Controlling the
controlling the
pace.
game.
Yeah,
Yes, like
he did.
slowing the ball down where it didn't need to be rushed, taking control, finding the open man. I think if Kagulangan leaves after the season, Felicillo will be fine as a
He'll
starting
be more
point
than
guard.
capable.
More
Hindi
than
ako
yeah.
matatakot.
Yeah. And lastly, Malik, 10 points, 17 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 blocks. 5 of 11 from the field. He also only committed 2 fouls. He was aggressive early trying to score, and throughout the game he was just solid. So he did Malik things essentially. But yeah, I thought, in some ways, no, Nico, this is what UP will look next season.
Actually,
diba?
no. This is
Diba?
what they're gonna look like. No more CJ next year.
Maybe
JD is
JD
50-50.
he has one more season
But
after this
50-50
season.
for sure.
But if UP wins a championship and he gets an offer abroad, who knows?
Alis na yan for sure. He needs to get the bag. I mean, a basketball player's career is short. I'll take the bag.
So you might add like 1 or 2 recruits. Who knows? Who knows if Francis will still be there? But maybe he will be if he wants to develop some more. But yeah, this to some degree. And no Malik also. So Malik is also leaving after this season.
Will
right?
it be Ododo na? Or hindi pa yun final? Like, he's just there. Wala pa bang...
They have
Would you
3
say?
FSA options. They have right now. And I think it's going to come down to who performs the best for them at practice. Or
Pero
who
si
knows? Maybe they get...
Denzel Walker, is he considered
No.
FSA? He's
He's
not, no. He's considered
local.
Philam.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
Philam.
considered local.
They also have Gianni Stevens next season. So, but to some
Local
degree...
si Gani eh. So, okay.
Yes. So, Abadiano, Francis, Alarcon, Fortea, Felicilda, Torculias,
Stevens.
Torres, Belmonte, Alter.
Deep pa rin eh, no?
To some degree, this is like the guys who you will see for the upcoming seasons for UP. And today was like a little bit of a preview of what a team with those main guys might be like. And they played well. Defensively, they were good. They limited Ateneo to 33% shooting from the field. Ateneo, again, 50% only from the foul line. Ateneo won the rebounding battle, but only by 4 compared to last Sunday when they won by double digits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Other key stats, bench points.
For me talaga, it's
UP
the Chris Koon game. For
Chris
some
Koon.
reason, they really built a wall for his drives and everything. If there's also another way na, you're not going left, we're gonna force you right.
Exactly.
I'm sure. Did you notice that? I'm sure you noticed that one. Ang dami times
Yeah.
sa pakanan siya. Sabi
Yeah.
ko, ang defense ng UP, nakakainis.
That's something I noticed. I felt that UP was, compared to last week, Koon was able to move and get to his spots.
Yeah.
This time around, it felt like he was more of a focus on the game plan.
He was. I feel like he
And-
is the game plan.
And that game plan was force him right to his non-shooting hand. Now, I asked Coach Tab after the game at the press room if that was the reason why Koon was limited. Now, Coach Tab said he didn't think that was the reason why.
Mhm.
His reason why. Now, part of it, who knows? Maybe he wants to make sure that other teams don't try it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But which makes sense also, but his reason or his perspective on Koon's game was Chris was overamped. That's one of the words he used. Like Chris was the most excited player for this game in Ateneo. And perhaps he came a little overamped. He did not make a lot of good decisions, according to Coach Tab. And wait, let me see. He said one more thing, but he mentioned those two.
How about what are your thoughts, Coach Tav?
Yeah. He also said that Koon might have forced it a little too much. Maybe that related to the overamp part. But he also said he's confident that Chris is gonna bounce back. And Chris is having a great season. I think
For
he's
sure. Yeah.
really showing more of his bag, more of what he has
Tight na ng handles niya.
capability to do.
Tight handles for sure.
He's getting to the rim more, which is important, especially for the next stage of his career. But yeah, 0 out of 10, 0 points. Let's see.
Well, 5 rebounds and 4 assists, but I mean,
Yeah.
Ateneo needed his points for sure. After all, they only lost by 5.
And he had 2 turnovers, and I think both turnovers might have come in the fourth quarter during the critical stretches there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
When
Chris
he
will bounce
drove,
back.
yeah, I think when he drove, then he got trapped. And he had to. I think he was supposed to pass it to Espinosa, right? And then it was such a
Yeah.
wild pass. So Espinosa was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah. I think, see, once in a while, good players will have these like games that are just super out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like when you have like, you know how like sometimes in a month you have so many good days in a month, but there's also
And
that
there's all
one
the
day that was just
banda.
like really bad, diba? And you're like, oh, that day was really bad. Yeah, there was that one bad day. So
Mhm.
unfortunately for Chris, it was just this game against UP in the finals rematch. This was the game. Now, part of that is the defensive pressure of UP, but he wasn't the only one who didn't shoot well from the field. So Kiteves was 3 of 9, Balungay is 3 of 9, Jason Credo is 1 of 6, Espinosa 0 of 3, Gio Chu 0 of 1. This three turnovers in 7.5 minutes for Gio Chu.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate. There were some
Yeah.
some traveling na medyo I didn't agree with, but it's just
Yeah.
overall parang just a bad game for Gio.
Yeah, Ateneo, the backup big man position. This was one of the issues to some degree in season 85 and 84 also, because Isaac Go wasn't in the team anymore in season 84, right? So during the dominance of the Ateneo dynasty under Coach Tab, you had Ange Kwame starting at center, and then you had Isaac Go coming off the bench. So
Gilas
this
member Isaac go as well.
Isaac Go, a player for Gilas, a top pick in the PBA draft, coming off the bench as the backup big man for a college team. And that was one of the reasons why, there were many reasons why, but one of the key reasons why Ateneo was so dominant. And then season 84, you saw that regress when it was Gio Chu. And that's not a knock on Gio Chu, the person, because I'm sure Gio Chu works hard, and I'm sure he doesn't want to
Yeah, for sure.
play just 7 minutes, diba? But it's just not there yet, at least to the level that they need him to be. That's one of the issues, I think, for this Blue Eagles team right now, that position. Because, like, okay, Obasa played well, 11 points, 16 rebounds. He was a plus 10. Also, the highest among all these teammates for Ateneo today. Even had 4 blocks as well. So when he was on the court, Obasa was doing good. And Obasa, as of late, has been better, definitely compared to the start of the season. But Obasa isn't Kwame, you know? And that might sound a little unfair because no one is Kwame. But Obasa isn't Kwame, and the reason I say that is because without Ange there, you don't have that incredible player to make up for what you might lose when you go to the backups. And it's not to say that Ateneo is a bad rebounding team, because they're
Although
actually a
Nav,
pretty good
Joe
rebounding
played
team.
really well today.
No, for sure.
Well, no?
I agree.
11,
And
16, and 4. Yeah.
I think he was the second best Blue Eagle today behind Jared Brown.
Yeah, Jared.
Now, he missed a big shot at the end.
Yeah.
Big shot.
You could just see like everybody's faces in the blue side. They were like,
Yeah, I know, man. And it was tough. Now, okay, so let's talk about Brown. Let's talk about this.
Go.
I
Let's go,
wanna save
Jared.
I wanna save the Kai Balungay part for the end of it. So Jared Brown, he's shooting. Not only does he get the ball out quickly, because he doesn't really jump high when he shoots, right? It's kind of almost like he
Parang set
tiptoes.
lang. Parang tiptoe.
Set,
Parang
yeah.
small jump lang.
But he gets such good arc and such good form. His shoulders are always square towards the basket, and he has such a soft touch that when he puts it up there, it's usually straight, and the touch is soft
Ang
enough
ganda.
that it has a
It
chance to
always
go
looks
in.
in line.
Yes, exactly. The spin is good as well. And he's solid. He has been making big shots all season. He won that UE game with a big 3-pointer at the end of the contest.
Yeah.
He hit the big 3-pointer in overtime against UP last week. I also like how he played against LaSalle. He was keeping the team alive against LaSalle Ateneo. So he was solid. Now, Coach Tab said in the press room after the game that when Brown and him saw each other in the timeout after Brown passed to Obasa for the missed layup, that Brown was like, yeah, I should have like taken the shot instead, because they needed a 3, not a 2.
Not a 2.
And I think what Tab wanted was for Brown to get Diouf in an isolation 1-on-1 and set himself up for the pull up. Yeah.
Ah.
To give Ateneo a chance to tie the game. I'm sure if Jared Brown had that ball back, he would decide to do that. So
Yeah, for sure.
He has been great. He, to me, is one of the better point guards in the UAAP right now. Really
It's
like
one
his
of,
game.
for me, it's one of the players that I didn't think Ateneo would need. He
Yeah.
kind of like a blessing in disguise, because considering that all of the or majority of the attention is going to Mason.
He had 0 assists though. Zero
I mean-
assists, 0 rebounds. And I know that you're gonna say it's counting stats, but he did have that good pass to Obasa. There were
Yeah.
some passes he could have made the extra pass, but he was so on fire that I don't mind him taking the shot. 'Cause he was
Same.
7 of 11 and like
Same. I didn't
4
have
of
that
6 from
feeling
3.
na you could have passed that, bro. Wala akong ganun. I didn't feel that. It's
Yeah.
more of like, yeah, just go do you, Jared. Your
Yeah.
shots are going in.
The question is, the games when his jump shot isn't going in, can he do the other stuff? Diba? That's the question. And he still has issues sometimes, not issues, but difficulty sometimes with ball pressure.
Yeah, when they
he-
double team him, no.
in the press and everything. Yeah.
And also the height. I mean, he can't control that, but that's what
Yeah.
UP exploits. We have
That's
bigger
true.
guards.
That's
You're
true.
smaller than us. We're gonna be physical with you.
So Mason naman, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 17 minutes. So he doesn't even play half of the game.
Not sure kung bakit this is by
3 of 7
design.
from the
Not sure as
field.
well.
It's the same reason it's been since the start of the season.
Yeah.
It's the defense. That's not to say Mason doesn't compete on defense. He does. But you saw it also towards the tail end of the second quarter. He was in a few switches. He was guarding Malik. And he was also, caught defending Lopez in open space, penetrating. And in a foot race, Francis is gonna beat Mason, right? When it
Yeah.
comes to speed. His shooting is great. The 3-point, this guy was born to be clutch. When there's a clutch moment and
You need a
see
three,
him,
give it to
you
Mason.
need a 3 contested or not. And he was great in that overtime in the game against UP last Sunday at MOA. But yeah, it's the defense. And I think at his best, Mason needs to play with a big man. Another big who can help out with the rebounding.
Maganda yung
And-
pairing niya with Joe. nung
Yeah,
first quarter.
I like the
that.
minutes of him with Joe. I do. Now, it didn't work in the start of the third quarter because that's when UP made a run
Yeah.
and built a lead, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's hard to play Mason with another big man when you also have Kai Balungay trying to play the 4.
The Mason and Kai Balungay minutes were a bit weird a while ago. They were having like if you saw them on the court, they were having some small arguments regarding some switches on defense. there's-
Well, actually, I didn't see that, but I
Yeah,
could
meron
imagine.
silang- you would see na nagkaka-argument sila. Not big argument. It's more of like, hey bro, so
Talks.
rotation. You're talking about defense. Halatang defense yung pag-uusapan. And then sometimes talaga na you can see in Mason's face na when he's pissed ba yun? Or his emotions, kitang-kita talaga sa face niya when he's down.
Mason's a
when-
straight up guy. Mason
Yeah.
he wears his heart on
He wears his heart on his sleeve, yeah.
which
there
is
you
one of the
go.
great things about him. Also, he's
Mm.
always being honest when he's talking, right? But there have been a lot of those situations, you missed
Mm.
defensive rotations and assignments, And I think we
Growing
mentioned
pains
this.
talaga.
Growing
Growing
pains,
pains
yeah.
talaga. 9 rookies, bro. Like, ganun talaga mangyayari.
Europe. And look, the Ateneo teams the last few years, Nieto brothers, Sturdy, they had been together for a while. Mamuyak, right?
Mga grade school pa magkakasama, iba na yan eh.
They knew where each other would be on the
Yeah.
court like it was second nature. And this team is trying to figure it out to build chemistry. Which brings me to my next point. So one of my questions for Coach Tab in the presser was, do you like that Kai Balunga is trying to play within the offense and picking his spots instead of being aggressive and assertive, looking for his own offense?
Oh, I bet you like that question. I'm sure did you respond with a question? Did you respond with an answer that you imagine he would respond with?
Yes, he said something interesting where he said he felt it was up to the team to set Kai up for better scoring opportunities. And he also mentioned how he thinks this team, because they don't have that chemistry yet, like maybe a championship roster would, they're still trying to figure out how to work well with each other to create efficient shots for each other. Because if you look at this roster, ang daming capable shooters.
Dami.
Like don't even look at the percentages. If I just ask you eye test and gut feel, if Jared Brown is taking a three, you're comfortable.
I'm
Right?
comfortable.
Okay. If Mason Amos is taking, I'm not even gonna ask that. That's
Oh,
obviously
yeah. Nah. That's
Okay.
blasphemous to even ask that question.
Exactly. If Kai Balunga is taking a three, are you comfortable with it?
Yeah, we saw
Yes.
that in the fourth quarter a while ago.
If Koon is taking a three, are you comfortable
Of
with
course,
it?
yeah.
Exactly.
Espinosa rin, to an extent.
Espinosa to an extent. Gab Gomez to an extent when he's on the court, right? LeBron Nieto
Nieto.
as well. Exactly. These guys are
Dude, and Nav,
knockdown.
let me add, Joe Obasa. He can make those threes. I think more pick and pop opportunities for Joe. We saw it in Pinoy Liga. Tumitira ng tres yun eh.
Some moments, yeah.
Some moments, parang okay, I won't cringe when he tries to take a three-pointer.
Yeah. So anyway, there are a lot of shooters. Diba? Knockdown capable shooters. So that's why Coach Tab mentioned that, in my opinion. He was saying, yeah, we have the talent, but we need to work to get the best shots available also. And that's what chemistry can bring, knowing where each other is on the court, passing the ball around. And that's one of the things I would say I didn't find awesome about the GO2 minutes earlier. Ateneo's passing in the first half was really good. Swinging. UP went with a 1-3-1 zone defense to start the game, and Ateneo was getting great looks like almost all the time. Mason for three, open three. Then UP changed it up in the second half. More man-to-man na sila. But yeah. But then when GO2 comes in, they're playing against a zone, and the ball movement is good. He'll get the ball in the paint and he tried to post
back
up
down
Malik 3 times, I think it happened. One time Malik fouled him, the refs didn't call it.
Kita ko yun, yung pagka-spin niya.
Yeah.
Sobrang clear, sabi ko.
The refs missed that. But then 2 other times, turnovers for Ateneo. Again, it's a backup center minutes. They need Obasa's a solid big man at this point. You can say that.
Solid talaga.
Mason is a solid player, but at his best, I think Mason is a playing of
the
four.
He's a 4.
Basically playing with another big man who can worry about rim protection and defense and rebounding. And then other than that, who's their other big man? Diba? Si Gio Chuna is the next big man in the rotation. Like even if you compare to UP earlier, Sean Alter plays 6 minutes, but in those 6 minutes, he does a great job protecting the rim. He gets 2 blocks, right? And he is, fighting, positioning himself. Francis Lopez can play big because of what he does with his athleticism. Ateneo's guards, they have tall wings. I think it's the big man area, particularly the backup big man area where it could use some work.
To do some work, or rather, they're not set with the rotation yet. At least like, okay, this is gonna be our set rotation when this certain kind of situation. I think that's also something that they need to figure out.
Yeah. And also, I'm quite surprised Josh Lazaro isn't
Right?
getting more for a run.
I felt like Josh
Gab
Lazaro
Gomez too.
deserves 10 to 15 minutes a game. For me, I'm a Lazaro fan eh. Especially what he can bring on defense and extra rebounding.
Yeah. And also, maybe Sean Tuano could use some run.
Yeah,
More
Sean Tuano.
give him a
More.
5-minute run. Yeah.
Although I was speaking to Isaac Go a while ago, he said that it's not easy to just insert players na out of nowhere to just adding minutes. I think there's like a science to it, especially with him being a Coach Tab disciple for sure, an ex-player of Coach Tab. So,
For
in-explain niya sa
sure.
akin na you just cannot like give this
Plug and
player
play.
plug
Yeah.
and play. It's not as easy as we think now. And of course, I was like, oh yeah, of course. Like trying to understand his perspective, being a former player as well.
Here's the thing though.
Interesting, no? Like the way they think
Think
about,
about it.
yeah.
Here's the thing though. For the first time ever in the Tab Baldwin era, the Blue Eagles have 5 losses. They're 4-5.
And then I think this is the first time they're below 500 under a
Uh,
Coach Tab Baldwin team.
they were 2-3 at a certain point this season. So they were below
They were
500.
2-3 this
Yeah,
season.
and they were 0-1 also. So they were below 5. I think what you mean
Oh.
was this deep into the season.
Oh yeah,
Parang,
this deep into the season. Yeah.
yes. This deep into the season. So yeah, it's new territory to some degree. And who knows, maybe by giving some of the other guys in the roster a chance, maybe you find a spark plug. Kind of like how Sean Kiteves in game 2 of the finals gets minutes.
So
And
basically na magic bunot. We need another magic
exactly.
bunot.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
do you
And
think is gonna be Ateneo's magic bunot? It's very a short game before we move on sa topics natin. Who do you think will Ateneo's be? Who will be their magic bunot? Who will be their Sean Kiteves this season?
I think it's someone who's already playing, but maybe could use more responsibility.
Tuano.
Credo.
For me, sa'yo Credo. Akin si
Credo.
Tuano. Kasi magic
Credo.
bunot eh. Credo kasi nakita natin, nagagamit naman talaga. He had a nice end one a while ago.
He
Diba?
did. And by saying this, I'm not making a great case. -10 in 13 minutes.
No, remove that one. In the vacuum lang naman.
One turnover, 1 of 6. But he can get to the rim. He can penetrate. Diba? And I think they could use another guy who can penetrate rather than look for the pull-up. Because Mason is looking for the pull-up or a post-up. Balunga is looking for the pull-up. Koon is driving in more, which they need. Brown and Espinosa are looking for the pull-up, those floaters. They need a guy who can get to the rim, get to the free throw line more. I think Credo can be there. And Credo's solid defensively also.
I could go with that. Yeah. Credo.
Yeah.
He's a veteran technically.
Technically, yes.
Diba?
Yes. All right. Now, before we get to the next segment, I just want to share to the listeners, those who have been following the podcast for a while. By the way, I just want to share my appreciation, first of all, for all of you. I'm wearing the Navs Effect Podcast t-shirt right now. Shout out to my guy Kirk for helping me out with this. Yes, gonna be on sale soon. If any of you want the Navs Effect Podcast t-shirt, just let me know or hit me up on socials. I will post details soon where you all can get it. Gonna be a lot of fun. The sign in the back is awesome too. I would show it, but then I'd have to take it out right now, and I don't think that's good for the podcast. But yeah, shirts out soon. If you guys want a piece, I will share more about how that could happen. And again, shout out to Kirk for helping me produce these shirts. Also, I just want to share, Nico, I think this season more than past seasons, people have been coming up to me at the games, at the arenas. Someone earlier told me, hey, bro, I wait for every episode to come out. I listen to every episode. Thank you. And that made me feel awesome
Sarap
about
ng
doing
feeling
this.
when people say that.
Sarap.
Sarap ng feeling. And then you're like, you're just walking around.
Yeah.
You have an agenda, and then somebody just tells you, like, I like what you're doing. I'm like, oh.
It's so fulfilling, especially someone who says like I wait for every episode to come out because like for example we're recording this 12:30, it's after a long day of work, UAAP, and it can be tiring sometimes obviously, but then when people our passion drives us to do this, but obviously when people say that they really enjoy it, they listen to it on their drives or when they're working out, that means a lot. So I just want to say thank you to those who express that when they see me at the games. People who say hi. Sometimes, I started doing this. Some people like are looking at me and they're waiting to say hi sometimes. So I want to be the one to say hi first. And it's actually such
But
a
you don't
great
want to
feeling too.
assume. But you
But
don't
I
want to
don't want to
assume.
assume.
Because
Yeah.
it's weird.
Thankfully, that hasn't happened yet where it's an
Yeah.
awkward spot. But no, really appreciate everyone. Even if those who say, we follow your social media posts, articles, whatever it is. Just want to say the appreciation is I take that with so much gratitude. And yeah, I just wanted to share that. And also, Navs Effect shirt is coming out soon. Not a
Yeah,
plug, I
support Nav.
promise. I was really genuine with what I said. And I appreciate, friends like Nico coming in the episodes to help talk our passions right now, the UAAP. So
Pamparelax to eh.
let's look at the final four picture.
Game.
Number one, UP 8-1, right? And by the way, I think we're gonna have a really exciting final four race this season just because of how everything is playing out. So UP 8-1, NU 7-2, LaSalle 6-3, Adamson 4-5, Ateneo 4-5. They're tied for 4 and 5, Adamson Ateneo, with 4 and 5 records, respectively. So that's where the final four would be right now if the season ended right now. And then UE is right behind Ateneo and Adamson at 3 and 6. Same with FEU 3 and 6. USD is 1-8. With all due respect to the University of Santo Tomas Growling Tigers, I have to say I think they're out of the final four picture. So we have 7 teams right now that legit have final four cases. Because yes, UP is 8-1, and by winning today, they guarantee themselves at least a playoff game for the final four. NU is 7-2, LaSalle is 6-3. Okay. Next weekend, when the UAAP comes back, NU takes on Ateneo. NU is 7-2. Ateneo is 4 and 5. Both teams need a win to make up for their recent losses. Following day, LaSalle versus UP. So things are gonna shake up again after next weekend's games, right? Now, worth noting also, if there's a tie for 2 and 3, there will be a playoff to determine who gets number 2. If there's a tie for 4 and 5, there will be a playoff to determine who gets number 4. With how things are shaking out right now, I think UP has the driver's seat lead for number 1. I think UP and LaSalle will be in battle for number 2 with an outside shot to get number 1 if UP slips up. Ateneo and Adamson, I wouldn't count them out just yet of moving up, but right now they're in that 4-5 range. The FEU loss for Ateneo is really big because they still have NU and LaSalle in their schedule coming up. And Adamson, they will face Adamson team that will want to win against them also. And then, of course, UE and FEU won't give up on the season. They're only one loss behind Adamson and Ateneo in the standings for a potential Final Four spot. So again, we have 7 teams right now with something to play for. That's not to say that Santo Tomas has nothing to play for, because they do. Of course, they want to finish the season strong. But the other 7 teams right now, in terms of Final Four possibilities, they're still in it. And what an exciting last few game dates we're going to have.
Yeah, definitely, man. And it's exciting. Consider ako pero yung sa FEU, like, side note lang when I saw them lose bad to Adamson a while ago, I was like, these are the type of games that Ateneo's not supposed to let go of, or kind of teams that they're not supposed to lose to. Kasi eto, every win matters at this point. Just to get the 4th seed, and then if you're the 4th seed, you have a date with UP. Just twice to beat pa UP. Oh,
well, that's
what a
assuming,
life! What
that's
a life!
assuming UP is number 1, and you still has a chance for number 1.
Oh, never.
And
I mean, I love NU. I love I love Kian, baklaan. I love Coach Jeff Napa, but there's an objective kind of in a vacuum. I feel like UP is gonna be number 1 after what we have seen kanina. For me, that's me. I feel like UP is a sure lock at number 1. I don't think
well,
anyone's gonna throw them off.
if they beat LaSalle, I think they'll have number 1.
Oh yeah. There's LaSalle pa.
If they
Oh,
beat
it's gonna be
LaSalle,
fun. I'm gonna wait. When's the LaSalle game? Sunday.
Sunday, yeah, next
I'll see you
Sunday.
there. I'll see you there.
I think if UP beats LaSalle, then
That's it na. Like, okay. Kayo na.
not that's it, because they still have a game against NU. But if UP beats LaSalle, I think, because UP won the first game na against NU and they won by a big margin. And take note, Nico, if you're determining a tiebreaker between number 1 and number 2, there's no playoff game. It's just quotient. If there's a tiebreaker between 1 and 2 and 3
Quotient
and
nga lang.
4, quotient lang. So UP won by a significant margin against NU.
18?
Which
16? Basta ganun, malaki.
have to double check. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me check. I'll check.
Sige. So if UP beats LaSalle, that means that UP swept the season series against LaSalle,
Yeah.
and also
18 Nav.
they won by 18 against NU in the first game, which means for NU to take the number 1 seed from them, NU would have to
19.
NU would first of all hope that NU would have to beat UP and beat UP by 19, and also NU would have to win the rest of their games. Now, I don't want to assume UP will easily win the rest of their games against other teams, but I think they'll beat UST. I think that they should beat Adamson, FEU, and UE. They already beat Adamson.
Yeah.
So
By a lot.
yeah, so then if you add a LaSalle win there also, then I think they'll be the number 1 seed, which makes next Sunday's game very big. Because now, let's assume that LaSalle wins that game. Diba? Okay, so UP will suddenly have 2 losses. And then LaSalle will have 3 losses, and they would have beaten NU and UP in the second round. Now, the NU Ateneo game is big also. Because
That's also big.
Exactly. And take note, NU has been hit by the injury bug, and it is
That's for,
the
diba? Manansala,
Manansala, Umamoy,
Enriquez.
Enriquez. Now,
Tatlo pala.
Enriquez
Apat.
reports say that 1 month he'll be out, but maybe he'll be back sooner because Coach Jeff said that after the operation, they'll try to have him back in practice. But just a really tough time to be hit with injuries right now if they're unhealthy. Because that Ateneo game, and by the way, they're going to be facing an Ateneo team on a 2-game losing streak.
Mm.
And an Ateneo team who NU beat really big time in the opener, right? So that's going to be a motivated Ateneo team that they're going to face. An Ateneo team that suddenly is in danger of missing the Final Four.
Weird
Right?
thing to say, right?
Very odd thing to say.
What?
So they are going to face a team that if they beat, then they are still in command of the second seed and they still have a chance of the first seed. But if they lose, suddenly they're in the same loss column as LaSalle, 3 losses.
Yeah.
And LaSalle just beat them, right?
Oh yeah, shit. Oh, nga,
And-
that's biglang flip.
And they're still gonna beat UP. So let's say that LaSalle loses to UP, hypothetically. LaSalle 4 losses, diba? If NU naman loses to Ateneo, they will have 3 losses, and they have a game against UP also.
So baka mag...
So,
shit.
yeah,
Gulo.
so now, if there's a tie for 2 and 3, playoff yan. Diba we talked about virtual best of 3 series? If you're NU right now, you don't naman need a 1 seed specifically. You just need a twice to beat. That's your goal right now. Diba? Well, your goal number 1 is to be healthy and to play your best basketball. That's goal number 2. Goal number 3 is to have a twice to beat if kaya mo. And you would rather, if you're NU, have a twice to beat against LaSalle rather than a virtual best of 3 against the Green Archers.
Yeah.
Diba? Because then all the pressure will be on LaSalle's side. I don't want to assume, though, that LaSalle will win the rest of its games because we have seen LaSalle, have win streaks and then losing streaks. Like streaky sila sometimes. But with the way KQ is playing right now, with some of the changes that the
MVP.
team has made to
MVP.
the rotation, and Topex, you feel, is starting to get a grasp of this team. You know? Like, you're starting to see him make some of the better decisions for the team in terms of substitution patterns, in terms of, where the ball is playing through, who's playing with who on the court. So, less Manuel minutes, less Austria minutes. The fact that Phillips has been injured has been a little bit of a opportunity for the other guys in the team, like
What
Raven
happened to Mike?
Cortez.
What happened to Mike?
Ankle injury from the UP game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
He could have played in yesterday's game if it was like a Final Four or Finals game.
But it's preventive yung sa kanya last time. Yeah, okay. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, and he's gonna be fine long term. That's basically what they said in the press conference after. But that recently, it's also been more minutes for David, more minutes for Policarpio, more minutes for Raven Cortez, more of a run for Goliena and Abadam. And less minutes for Nonoy as well, to some degree. And you're starting to see the minutes distribute more among the taller maybe more athletic players of the team. And you put all those like capable athletes and players next to KQ and Evan, they're just gonna pass the ball around. Here you go, here you go, here you go. Spread the wealth, right? And that LaSalle team we saw against NU, Nico, they were up most of second quarter till the fourth quarter. They were comfortably ahead,
Yeah.
right? And they were facing, okay, yes, NU didn't have Enriquez, but that's still a good NU team. They were comfortably ahead, and when NU was going to make a rally in the fourth quarter, I was like, oh, here we go again, right? They're going to lose the lead.
Here we go again.
Here we
May
go
trauma
again.
na eh, may PTSD.
But no, they closed them out. They were making the right decisions. They're playing more through KQ and Evan, and those guys are playing great as the leaders of the team. This is a team that is hitting its stride a little bit, and let's see how far they go. Because, of course, we've seen this movie before. It's played out in different ways.
You've seen this movie before. That's every DLSU fan. We have seen this
We have
movie
seen
before.
this movie before. But that NU game was very encouraging. Again, I don't want to put too much stock into it because Enriquez didn't play, Manansala didn't play, and I thought Manansala in particular was a big absence for that
Big
game.
factor for sure.
Humamoy
Jordan.
didn't play. But just from what LaSalle provided, how Policarpio played, how KQ was dominant in many ways, how Evan was sticking to his role and doing it very well, how guys like David, even Bright Nuanco, wala pang Michael Phillips yan, Raven Cortez playing great. I'm curious to see what can grow out of this team.
Definitely. And that's not scary. And to think na actually, Nav, this is the first time I've seen LaSalle peaking at the right time after a long while. This is them peaking at the right time. Usually, diba, at this point, chaos is already happening, and like last year. But this year it's different. They have a different vibe. They all love to play for one another. They love their coach all the more. Kitang-kita mo yun. There's an open communication between the team. It's just a matter of just putting it all together. But with regards to chemistry, it's always been there. And the respect for the coaching staff, I think that's very underrated. Whenever they talk about Coach Topex, it's like we love playing for him. He encourages us all the time. We're not afraid to speak our minds. And I'm like, it's a great team dynamic to have.
Yep. And when
That's
their
why
jump
I'm
shots are
Happy
going
with
in,
LaSalle.
if their jump shots are going in, they're a solid team.
Mhm.
So who knows? Let's see if it continues. I guess the UP game will be very interesting because this is obviously their best basketball of the season. That's all. And they're catching UP at a time where Kagulangan and Cancino might not. Well, Cancino probably will be better by then. But Kagulangan, let's see if his hamstring will recover enough for him to play. Of course, for Teos back, that changes things. But LaSalle has often played UP tight. These LaSalle UP
It's
games.
always tight games as well. Pag LaSalle UP.
Yeah.
It's also equally exciting.
Like Ateneo UP games go down the wire every time. Like I think at this point it's a rule that an Ateneo UP game needs to be close towards the end of the game. But LaSalle and UP follow a similar trajectory.
They do.
Diba?
Imagine mo ako UP LaSalle games, diba? I'm not from either school, but I watch kasi iba yung eh. Iba talaga.
I know. Iba yung vibe. And that could be a fun finals if it happens, like we've mentioned. Diba? It could be a fun finals if it happens.
Which one? Like UP LaSalle meeting in the finals? That's
Yeah,
a possibility for sure, yeah.
Like if I asked you, like, what kind of finals would you want? Like right now, like, do you want another battle of Katipunan?
I don't mind. Ang ganda ng mga laban eh. But a UP LaSalle finals is also great. I don't mind.
Or LaSalle Ateneo even.
Or LaSalle Ateneo even.
Or
I mean, it's a
LaSalle
classic.
or LaSalle NU. Or UP NU. Or
Okay,
Ateneo NU.
So
Diba?
LaSalle NU, I want all NU players to be there. Kasi kung wala naman si Nash, Manansala, parang medyo boring. I want NU to be complete. Kung ganun.
No. If NU makes the finals, they would have to be complete and healthy. Like
You
they
never know.
wouldn't.
What if Cinderella run sila bigla?
I mean, it's
It
possible.
could happen. It's Jeff Napa's your
possible.
coach.
Yeah, but
But as a
just-
fan's perspective, I want it to be complete.
Yeah.
The storyline, the marketability. I'm thinking like a marketing guy, but yeah, but you know what I mean.
No, I get you. I get you.
Yeah,
Well,
I just
anyway,
want everybody to be complete. I
like
don't
I
mind watching that
like
kind of matchup then.
I have told people I think Battle of Katipunan, Ateneo UP is the best rivalry in the UAP right now, just because of the intensity in the court, the basketball action, the recent history, the fanfare, the back and forth, right? But we've seen this finals like so much also at this point. We've seen these battles, we've heard the same trash talk online and in person. What if we get something different this season? Something new, a new rivalry to start. What if we turn the page in rivalries, turn the chapters, and start a new one? And like I said, it could be UP LaSalle, it could be LaSalle Ateneo again, bring that back. It could be NU UP, particularly with the Bullpups Goldwyn factor there.
Actually, yeah, that's a great storyline.
It could
Holy
be
shit. Oo nga
NU
pala.
Ateneo. Can UE make a Cinderella Final Four run? They
UE
play
you pulled that out of the ano sobrang
UE
out of nowhere.
they played NU close and also they won. Now they beat UST, so of course, but they did play NU close. Let's see how they do. What if they make what if they get the playoff for a Final Four? Adamson, okay? Jerome, he announced it earlier in the press room with Father Alder and Suan. He has a torn ACL. And, as sad as it is, that is the career of Jerome Lastimosa as a college player. But will that clarity spark something motivational to the rest of the Falcons? That now they know, okay, Jerome's not coming back. This is
us
our
na.
team.
This is
This is
our
us.
team.
And it's not like we suck. We're 4-5, right? We're in the middle of the standings. We're number 4 right now. And we know who's gonna be here now, who's not gonna be here. Let's play. Diba? If FEU for I don't know what to expect. One day they'll beat Ateneo, one day they'll get blown out, one day they'll lose to UST. But if you're FEU, you're telling yourself, listen, the season has been so weird so far, but we have a chance to still make the Final Four. Why not go for it?
To
Kite
say the
play.
least, weird to say the least for them. You don't
Yeah.
know what you're gonna get from FEU, man. They're a Jekyll and Hyde team.
And that's the point of like all of this right now. This season is still wide open in my
Gulo.
opinion. I think UP is the most, like we mentioned in the
Most
preseason,
consistent. Yeah.
UP is probably the most talented and team with the most depth. But would you say for sure? Or they'll beat LaSalle for sure in the finals. They'll beat NU for sure in the finals. They'll beat Ateneo. You can't say that for sure.
You can say that though. You
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, and that's not to knock UP. That's more to say na parang the season is so wide open with the competition that it's hard to predict exactly what's going to happen because there are so many close games going down the wire, diba? Now we had a few blowouts recently, but there have been close games, and when you have close games in this level, 20,000 people in the arena, teams going back and forth, big shots, big defensive. You just don't know what's gonna happen. You don't even know what the referees are gonna call sometimes. That's like real talk. We don't know what kind of officiating you're gonna get. Are you gonna get
You don't know what referees are gonna get.
It's true. Are you gonna get loose officiating na parang they're letting things go? Are they gonna call everything tight? Are they gonna call the weirdest
The init
fouls?
na ulo ni Coach Tab kanina sa referees, ah. I'm just gonna say. Kasi yung upuan ko beside dati na yung bench, eh.
Yeah,
Iba yung init na ulo ni Coach Tab ngayon, ah.
how many technical fouls are they gonna give? Are they going to take 10 minutes to review a play? Diba? Like,
Did they call any text a while ago? Meron ba? Puro warning lang ata kanina, eh.
yeah, I don't think my text.
Wala ako
Yeah.
naalala.
But anyway, so crazy UAP season, so much fun. And I can't wait to see what else is in store.
Same Nav. It's fucking crazy. I already told you this. I am losing years of my life to watching live UAP games. And you know what? I'm still signed up for that one. I'm still gonna watch more games.
Signed up for life. Nico, why don't you plug anything you have coming out?
Nothing much. It's more of I just have a live show on the 6 month podcast, but the next show on YouTube will be on Sunday na after the Saturday games, since I will be out this week to have a
Mm.
RNR in Japan.
Someone is going on a vacation.
Yeah, vacation. You need a vacation now. God damn it, bro. You need a vacation. Out of all
Could-
people, ikaw.
Can I what if I just treat like last Saturday what we did on Saturday night as
Parang
a
ganun lang.
mini
Saya,
vacation?
chill lang
Yeah.
no?
That was a fun night.
That was fun. Like, you should try. I mean, you get out of the
Appreciate you by the
country.
way for coming out. Oh,
Oo
I
naman.
am. I'm traveling
Kailan ka ba?
December. December.
December. After
Christmas
na
time.
season.
After the season, yeah. After
After
the
na
season.
season.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I also want to thank those who greeted me. A happy birthday. So recording this, it's Monday now, October 30th. It was my birthday, October 28th. And the Saturday night I was talking about with Nico was a little get together I had at home with some friends. Thanks to Nico and his lovely wife for joining us, of course. And yeah, it was
The billiards table for occupying our time.
yeah,
Saya nun. Saya ng billiards eh. No?
pool table at the party is solid. It just brings people together, the pool
Yeah.
table, diba? Some way, somehow. But yeah, so just if I could share a little bit, I woke up, I watched the first thing I did in the morning, watched the Heat Celtics game. Boston won. Boo freaking who. But yeah, that was still a fun game. After that, went to the office. Actually, also it was a fun birthday, but also like a little bit of a challenge because I passed by the hospital a few days. Someone close to heart. Thankfully, things went well. Knock on wood. But of course, that kind of process can sometimes be a challenge as well mentally, and it makes you reflect on a lot of things. So that was something that I took out of that experience. Visiting the hospital, seeing loved ones, just an appreciation for life, and sometimes how short it can be. Sometimes how we don't have as much time as we always think we do. So a reminder of that was a fun not a fun learning experience, but an important learning experience, I want to say. And after that, went to the office, had a few bites, and then after that, went to the UAAP game, the Salle NU game. After that, came home, hung out with some friends. So it was a little bit busy birthday, included work. One of my closest friends from college messaged me before she came to the party, and she was like, "I'm seeing your tweets. It's your birthday. What are you doing working? Get off your phone." Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but that's what the message said. But yeah, I did what I loved. I was with people who were important to me, and I got greetings from people too. And I just want to say I'm very thankful to those who did that, those who said happy birthday at the arena earlier too. Appreciate it a lot. And yeah, I appreciate everyone who have listened to this podcast. 105 episodes, I think. This will be 105, but so much fun. And Nico, thanks for always coming by. Kahit late notice, man. Really appreciate it.
Tama lang rin yun kasi kumakain pa ako ng dinner, papahinga pa ako. Sakto talaga yung mga oras eh. Kaya for me, it's perfect. Like, sakto na, I'll sleep na right after this one.
Yes, sir. And you have a trip, man. You gotta get some rest.
Yeah, I have to rest. But yeah, it was fun to talk about hoops. Even though talo yung mga manok natin. But it's fun. It's all fun and games.
For
There's
the love of the
still,
game.
I think Ateneo still has 5 more games. Most teams have 5 more games remaining. So let's see. Let's see what's gonna happen.
Exactly. Look, so many possibilities, so many things can still happen, and it's gonna be a fun ride. Nico, thanks for joining me tonight, man. Appreciate it. Great podcast. Enjoy your trip. My regards to your fam, and can't wait to see how else the Final Four is
I'll
going to
see you
play out.
Saturday. I'll see you Saturday.
Yes,
You
sir.
better show up. I'll see you
See you-
Saturday.
See you Saturday. I'll see you there for sure. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
See you, bro. Thanks again.